Mic check, mic check. So where was I? Where did I left? Things you find your choice you make. Choice in the mind is just a metaphor for happiness you can just start with you. Every just a choice you make and a skill you develop. Mind is just available to the body. We spend so much time and effort trying to change the external world, other people, and our own body, all while accepting ourselves the way we were programmed in our youth. We accept the voice in our head as the source of all truth, but all of it is malleable and every day is new. Memory and identity are burdens from the past, preventing us from living freely in the present. Happiness requires presence. Any given at any given time, when you are walking down the street, a very small percentage of your brain is focused on the present. The rest is planning the future or regretting the past. This keeps you from having an incredible experience. It's keeping you from seeing the beauty in everything and for being grateful for what you can literally destroy your happiness if you spend all the time living in illusion of the future. We crave experiences that will make us be present, but the cravings themselves take us from the present moment. I just don't believe in anything from past, my past, anything, no memories, no regrets, no people, no dreams. Nothing. A lot of our unhappiness come from comparing things from the past to the present. Anticipation for our vices pulls us into the future. Eliminating vices makes it easier to be present. Anticipation for our vices pulls us into the future. Eliminating vices makes it easier to be present. Explain in very detail. Great definition I read online. active moment to moment. For a single there is good definition I read. Enlightenment is the space between your wits. It means enlightenment isn't something you achieve after 30 years sitting on mountain top. It's something you can achieve moment to moment. You can be enlightened to a certain percentage every single day. That's a good definition. Well, he didn't have to explain in very detail like this. What if the life is the paradise we were promised and we are just squandering? Happiness requires peace, happiness and purpose interconnected. I mean, it's such an overloaded word. I'm not even sure what it means. For me, these days, happiness is more about peace than it is about joy. I don't think peace and purpose go together. If it's your internal purpose, the thing you most want to do, then sure you will be happy doing it. But an external inflicted purpose like socially wants to me to do X. I'm the first son of this should so I should do Y. Or I have this debt burden I took on. I don't think it will make you happy. I think a lot of us have this low level pervasive feeling of anxiety. If you pay attention to your mind sometimes you are just running around doing your thing and you are not feeling it and you notice your mind is chattering about something maybe you can't sit still. There is this next thing you where you are sitting in one spot thinking about where you should be next. It's always the next thing, then the next thing, the next thing after that, then the next thing after that, creating this pervasive anxiety. It's most obvious if you ever just sit down and try and do nothing. I mean nothing. I mean not read a book. I mean not listen to music. I mean literally just sit down and do nothing. You can do it because there is anxiety always trying to make you get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. I think it's important just being aware the anxiety is making us unhappy. Anxiety is just a series of running thoughts. Most obvious if you ever just sit down and try to do nothing. How I combat anxiety. I don't try and fight it. I just notice I'm anxious because all these thoughts I try to figure out I rather be having this thought right now, or would I rather have my peace? Because as long as I have my thoughts, I can't have. You'll notice when I say happiness, I mean peace. When a lot of people say happiness, they mean joy or peace, but I'll take peace. Happy person isn't someone who is happy all the time. It's someone who effortlessly, effortlessly, effortlessly interprets events in such a way that they don't lose their innate peace. Desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you. Every desire is chosen on happiness. I think the most common mistake for humanity is believing you are going to be made happy because of some external circumstances. I know that's not original. That's not new. It's fundamental Buddhist wisdom. I'm not taking credit for it. I think I really just recognize it on a fundamental level, including in myself. When we bought a new car, now I'm waiting for the new car to arrive. Of course, every night I'm in prompts reading about the car, why it's object. It's a silly car. It's not going to change my life much or at all. I know the instant the car arrives, I won't care about it anymore. The thing is, I'm addicted to desiring. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the idea of this external thing bringing me some kind of happiness and joy, and this is completely delusional. I think the most common mistake of looking outside yourself for anything is the fundamental delusion not to say you shouldn't do things on the outside. You absolutely should. You are living creature. There are things you do. You locally reverse trophy. You're meant to do something. You're not just meant to lie there in the sand and meditate all day long. You should self-actualize. You should do what you are meant to do. This idea you are going to change something in the outside world, and that is going to bring you the peace, everlasting joy, and happiness you deserve is a fundamental illusion we all suffer from, including me. The mistake over and over and over is to say, "Oh, I be happy when I get that thing, whatever it is." This fundamentally mistakes me all my 24/7 all day long. Fundamental delusion there is something out there that will make me happy and fulfilled forever. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. I don't think most of us realize that what it is. I think we go about desiring things all day long and then wonder why we are unhappy. I like to stay aware of it because where then I can say and then I can choose my desires very carefully. I try not to have more than one big desire in my life at a given time. And all I also recognize it as the axis of my suffering. I realize the area where I chosen to be unhappy. Desire is a contracting me to think ways to be happy. One thing I've learned recently, it's way more important to perfect your desires than to try to do something you don't 100% desire. When you are young and healthy, you can do more. By doing more, you actually taking on more and more desires. You don't realize this is slowly destroying your happiness. I find that people are less happy but more healthy. Older people are more happy but less healthy. When you are young, you have time, you have health, but you have no money. When you're middle aged, you have money and you have health. But when you have no time, when you're old, you have money and you have time, but you have no health. So the trifecta is trying to get all the three at once. By the time people realize they have enough money, they have lost their time and their health. Success does not mean happiness. This is being satisfied with what you want. Success comes from dissatisfaction. You just say that you have two lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one life. How do you and when had how did your second life begin? It's a very deep question. Most people who are past a certain age have had this feeling or phenomenon. They have gone through life a certain way. They got into a certain stage and had to make some pretty big changes. I'm definitely also in that boat. It's for a lot of my life to have certain material and social successes. When I achieved those material and social success, or at least was beyond a point where they didn't matter as much, I realized there are people around me who had achieved similar success and were on their way to achieving more. It didn't seem all that happy. In my case, there was definitely ironic adaptation. I'd very quickly get used to anything. This led me to a conclusion which seems right, that happiness is internal. One has to do external thing anyway. We are biologically hardwired it to say you can just turn it off. Your own life experience will bring you back to the internal path. Problem with getting good at a game, especially with one with big rewards, is to continue play it long after you should have outgrown it. Survival and replication drive put us on the work treadmill. Hedonic adaptation keeps us there. The trick is knowing when to jump off and play instead. People think of someone as successful when they win a game, whatever game they play themselves. If you are an athlete, you are going to think of a top athlete. If you're a businessman, you might think Elon Musk. A few years ago, I would have said Steve Jobs because he was part of driving force creating something that changed lives for all of humanity. I think Mark Andreessen is successful not because of his recent incarnation as a venture capitalist, but because of the incredible work he did with Netscape. Satoshi Nakamoto is successful in that he created Bitcoin, which is the incredible technological creation that will have repercussions for decades to come. Of course, Elon Musk, because he changed everyone's point of view on what is possible with modern technology entrepreneurship. I consider these creators and commercializer successful. To me, the real winners are the ones who step out of the game entirely. They don't even play the game. To me, the real winners are the ones who step out of the game entirely, who don't even play the game, who rise above it. Those are the people who have such internal mental and self-control and self-awareness. They get nothing from anybody else. There are a couple of these characters I know in my life. There's the I would consider him successful because he doesn't need anything from anybody. He's at peace, he's healthy, and whether he makes more money or less money compared to historically, I would say the legendary Buddha or in the sense that they step out of the game entirely. Being a legend does not matter. There's a line from Blaise Pascal I read basically says all of the men's troubles arise because he cannot sit in a room quietly by himself. If you could just sit for 30 minutes and be happy, you are successful. This is very powerful place to be. But very few must get there. I think of happiness as a movement and property of peace. If you are peaceful inside and out, there will eventually result in happiness. But this is a very hard thing to come. The irony is the way most of us try to find peace is through war. When you start a business in a way, you are going to war. When you struggle with your roommates as you who should clean the dishes, you are going to war. You're struggling so you can have some sense of peace. In reality, peace is not a guarantee. It's always flowing. It's always changing. You want to learn the most skill set of doing life and accepting it in most cases. You can get almost anything you want out of life as long as it's one thing you want it for far more than anything else. Yes, I end up in most is wanting to make this. This is happiness at rest. And happiness is peace in motion. You can convert peace into happiness anytime you want, but peace is what you most of the time. You are a peaceful person, anything you do will be a happy activity. By the way, think to get peace is by resolving all your external problems, but there are unlimited external problems. The only way to actually get peace on the inside is by giving up this idea of problem. Who is the enemy of happiness? Life is hard, that hard. I think we make it hard. One of the things I'm trying to get rid of the word should. When everyone, the word should keeps up in your mind. It's built on social programming. Doing something because you should basically means you don't actually want to do it. It's just making me miserable, so I'm trying to eliminate as many shoulds from my life as possible. The enemy of this is expectations drilled into you by society and other people. Especially we are told go work out, go look good. It's a multiplayer competitive game. Other people can see I'm doing a good job or not. We are told go make money, go buy a big house. Again, external multiplayer competitive game. Training yourself to be happy is completely internal. There is no external progress, no external validation. You are competing against yourself. It's a single player game. We are like these are ants. We are social creatures. We externally program and driven. We don't know how to play and win these similar games anymore. We compete with purely in multiplayer. If the reality is like it's a single player game, you are born alone. You are going to die alone. All your interpretations are alone. All your memories are alone. You are born in three generations and nobody cares. Before you showed up, nobody cared. It's all single player. Perhaps one reason why yoga and meditation are hard to sustain is they have no um, purely single player game. Intrinsic. Buffett has a great example when he asks if you want to be the world's best lover and known as the worst, or the world's worst lover and known as the best. Paraphrased in referring to an inner or external. Warren Buffett has a great example when he asks if you want to be the world's best lover and known as the worst, or the world's worst lover and known as the best. Paraphrased in reference to an inner or external scorecard. Exactly right. All the real scorecards are internal. Jealousy was a very hard emotion for me to overcome. When I was young, I had a lot of jealousy. By and by, I learned to get rid of it. It still crops up every now and then. It's a poisonous emotion because at the end of the day, you are no better off with jealousy. You are unhappier, and the person you are jealous of is still successful. You are good looking, or whatever they are. One day, I realized with all these people I was jealous of, I couldn't choose little aspect of their life. I couldn't say I want his body. I want her money. I want his personality. You have to be that person. Do you want to actually be that person with all of their reactions, their desires, their family, their happiness level, their outlook on life, their self-image? If you are not willing to do wholesale 24/7 100% swap with who the person is, then there is no point in being jealous. Once I came to that realize jealousy faded away because I didn't wanted to be anybody else. I'm perfectly happy being me. Either way, even this is under my control to be happy being me. It's just there are no social rewards for it. Happiness is built by happy habits. Okay. My most surprising discovery in the last 5 years is that peace and happiness are skills that are not things that you are born with. Yes, there is genetic range and a lot of it's conditioning from your environment, but you can uncondition and recondition yourself. You can increase your happiness over time, and it starts with believing you can do it. It's a skill just like nutrition is a skill, writing is a skill, working out is a skill. It's a skill, meeting girls and guys is a skill, having good relations is a skill. Even love is a skill. It starts with realizing there are skills you can learn when you put your intention and focus on it. The world can become a better place. Okay, the thing is, well, it's like, let's say, the way they explain, like, the authors or the people, they are very successful, right? So it's like in many areas of their life, no, of course, not about just money, wealth, but many areas of life, like in their career and things. And I have seen like they explain things like very simple. As you can see, like he literally explain a thing, just a topic, a thing, the whatever he was trying to say, with like uh, like clear, like it's a game. It's a single player game, not a multiplayer game. Like it's a very how can like there are people who can actually like they are at I'm just saying like they are at the top, like of course they are at the top, and they still say things like it's a single player game, you have to win it. It's like they are explaining this to a child or something, literally. it, I mean, like they are very clear of like what they are saying. And here he says that it's all just skills that you can learn. Like of course, like you learn something, you learn about whatever you're studying, and after 4 to 5 years, you go to work in any area, like whatever your field is, and you start making money because you are working on something, and you are working, you are getting paid for it. How can we like? How do they know? Like to very like when working, surround yourself with people more successful than you while playing, surround yourself with people happier than you. What type of skill is happiness? All trial and error. Wow. You just see what works. You can try sitting meditation. Did that work for you? Was it Tantra meditation or was it Vipassana meditation? Was it 10-day retreat or was 20 minutes enough? Okay, none of this worked, but what if I tried yoga? What if I kite surf? What if I go car racing? What about cooking? Does that make me zen? You literally have to try all of these things until you find something that works for you. When it comes to medicines, for the mind, the placebo effect is 100% effective. Or the placebo effect, When it comes to your mind, you want to be positively inclined, not incredulous in belief. If it is fully internal, what you should have a positive mindset. For example, I was reading The Power of Now by Art Tolle, which is a fantastic introduction to being present for people who are not religious. He shows you the single most important thing to be present and hammers it home over and over again until you get it. But there's a new book about a specific topic, Power of Now, a guide to spiritual enlightenment. So he wrote about the body energy exercise. You lie down and you feel the energy moving around your body. At that point, the old me could have put the book down and said, "Well, that's yes," but the new me said, "Well, if I believe it, maybe it will work." I went into it with a positive mindset. I laid down and tried the meditation. You know what? It felt really good. How does someone build the skill of happiness? You can build good habits. Not drinking alcohol will keep your mood more stable. Not eating sugar will keep your mood more stable. Not going on Facebook and Twitter or Twitter will keep your mood more stable. Playing video games will make you happier in short run. And I used to be an avid gamer, but in the long run, it could ruin your happiness. You are being fed dopamine, having dopamine withdrawn from you in this little uncontrollable ways. Caffeine is another one where you trade long term for the short term. Then what's left? What's left? I was okay about eating sugar, okay, drinking alcohol, okay, not going to Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, okay, playing video games, okay, let's remove video games also now. Short, I used to be in everything, but in the long run, it could ruin your happiness. Okay. Coffee, but caffeine, okay, like okay, then essentially you have to go through your life replacing your thoughtless bad habits with great ones. Making a commitment to be a happier person. At the end of the day, you are a combination of your habits and the people you spend the most time with. When we are kids, we have a very few habits. Over time, we learn the things we are not supposed to do. We become self-conscious. We start forming habits and routines. Many distinctions between people who got happier as they get older and people who don't can be explained by what habits they have developed. Are they habits that will increase your long-term happiness rather than your short-term happiness? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are generally positive and upbeat people? Are those relationships low maintenance? Do you admire and respect but not envy them? It's the five chimps theory where you can predict a chimp's behavior by the five chimps it hangs out with the most. I think that applies applies to humans as well. Maybe it's politically incorrect to say you should choose your friends very wisely, but you shouldn't choose them haphaz- haphazardly based on who you live next to or who you happen to work with. The people who are the most happy and optimistic choose the right five things. Okay. First rule of handling conflict is don't hang around people who constantly engage in conflict. I'm I'm not interested in any unsustainable or even hard to sustain, including difficult relationships. If you can see yourself working with someone for life, don't work with them for a day. There is a friend of mine, a person guy named, but where are the five things? I want to know the five things. He said, who are these five things? No. But it's just, he was just explaining. Okay. There is a friend of mine, a person, a guy named Bezad. He just loves life and he has no time for anybody who is not happy. One not happy. If you ask Bezad, what's your secret? He'll just look up and say, stop asking why and start saying, wow, the world is such an amazing place. As we are used to taking everything for granted, like what you and I are doing right now. We are sitting indoors, wearing clothes, well fed, and communicating with each other through space and time. We should be two monkeys sitting in the jungle right now, watching the sun going down, asking ourselves where we are going to sleep. When we got something, we assume the world owes it to us. If you are present, you will realize how many gifts and how much abundance there is around us all the time. All you really need to do. I'm here now and I have these incredible things at my disposal. Most important trick to being happy is to realize happiness is a skill. You develop and choice you make. You choose to be happy and then you work at it, building yourself, like losing weight, just like succeeding at your job, just like learning calculus. You said it's important to you, you prioritize it above everything else. You read everything on the top. Happiness habits. Okay. I have a series of I have a series of tricks I used to try and be happier in the moment. At first, they were silly and difficult and required a lot of attention, but now some of them have become second nature. By doing them religiously, I have managed to increase my happiness level quite a bit. The obvious one is meditation. Insight meditation, working towards a specific purpose on it, which is to try and understand how my mind works. Just being very aware in every moment. If I catch myself judging somebody, I can stop myself and say, what's the positive interpretation of this? I used to get annoyed about things. Now I'll always look for positive side of it. I used to take a rational effort. It used to take a few sounds for me to come up with a positive. Now I can do it sub-second. I try to get more sunlight on my skin. I look up and smile. Every time you catch yourself desiring something, say, is it so important to me? I'll unhappy unless this goes my way. You are going to find with the vast majority of things it's just not true. I think dropping caffeine made me happier. It made me more of a stable person. I think working out every day made me happier. If you have peace of body, it's easier to have peace of mind. The more you judge, the more you separate yourself. You'll feel good for an instant because you feel good about yourself, thinking you are better than someone. Later, you are going to feel lonely when you see negativity everywhere. The world just reflects your own feelings back at you. Sometimes, like, there were so many times that also when I was the first time I was reading the the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, I was like, yeah, this book is definitely going to have some dark manipulative psychology thing that I can try on my friends, or like just like you see on internet, right? Uh, Also the title was like how to win friends and influence people. I was like, dang it, I found a cheat code. And when I started reading it, it was like there were time I was like, this dude is literally talking about me. Like the book was founded, like the book was written in 90s or something, and I'm in 21st century, and that's how relatable it is. Like it's still very relatable. Like it's 2020, 2019. Okay, not 19, but let's say 2020, and I was like, it's so relatable. Like wow, it feels like why this dude is talking about me directly. Why are you talking about me directly? How do you know about me? That's how I feel while reading this type of things. Tell your friends you are a happy person, then you'll be forced to confirm it. You'll have a constantly bias, you have to live up to it. Your friends will expect you to be a happy person. Recover time and happiness by minimizing your use of them. Free smartphone apps, phone calendar and alarm clock. The more cigarettes you have, the less happy you are going to be. Caught in a funk? Wait. Recover time and happiness by minimizing use of three smartphone apps. Phone calendar and alarm clock. Okay. The more cigarettes you have, the less happy you are going to be. The more cigarettes you have. Caught in funk, use meditation, music, and exercise to rest your mood. Then choose a new path to commit emotional energy for the rest of the day. Okay, makes sense. Hedonic adaptation is more powerful for man-made things, cars, houses, clothes, money. Hedonic adaptation. Okay, let's see. Hedonic adaptation is more powerful for man-made things, cars, houses, clothes, money, than for natural things, food, sex, exercise. Okay, no exceptions. All screen activities link to less happiness. All non-screen activities link to more. All screen activities link to less happiness. All non-screen activities link to more happiness. Let's say I'm a therapist. I just recently started my I just recently started my therapy session, and if let's say yes, of course, Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Oh no, I am so unhappy. I have this thing like no one gives me attention, and I'll be like, "What's your screen time?" And if it shows more than 4 hours, I'll be like, "I'll drop this quote right there. I will drop this quote like no expectations. All screen activities link to less happiness, and all non-screen activities link to more happiness. Now, who is next? I'll just end this one right there. No take back. No take back. No take backs. No refund. Yes. He just ended the debate or something. The thing is, I'm surrounded by One, two, and three. I'm surrounded by three screens right now. But the thing is, only watching at one, and the other one is only recording me. So I'll just skip it. A personal metric: how much of the day is spent doing things out of obligation rather than out of interest. It's the new job to make you anxious and angry, but it's under like scientific, economic, education, conflict, trends, or positive, stay optimistic. Okay. A personal metric: how much of the day is spent doing things out of obligation rather than out of interest. It's the new job to make you anxious and angry, but its underlying scientific, economic, education, and conflict trends are positive. Stay optimistic. Politics, academia, and social status are all zero sum games. Positive sum games create positive people. Increase serotonin in the brain without drugs. Sunlight, exercise, positive thinking, and tryptophan. Tryptophan. Okay. Taking a bit. Speak one thing. Cultivate a desire. Visualize it. Plan a sustainable path. Identify needs, triggers, and substitutes. Tell your friends. Track meticulously. Self-discipline is a bridge to a new self-image. Bake in the new self-image. It's who you are now. First, you know it, then you understand it, then you can explain it, then you can feel. Finally, you are it. Find happiness in acceptance. In any situation in life, you always have three choices. You can change it, you can accept it, or you can leave it. If you want to change it, then it is a desire. It will cause you to suffer, or it will cause you suffering until you successfully change. So don't pick too many of those. Pick one big desire in your life at any given time to give yourself purpose and motivation. Why not two? You will be distracted. Even one is hard enough. Being peaceful comes from having your mind clear of thoughts, and a lot of clarity comes from being in the present moment. It's very hard to be in the present moment if you are thinking, I need to do this, I want that. This has got to change. You always have three options. You can change it, you can accept it, or you can leave it. What is not a good option is to sit around and wishing you would change it but not changing it, wishing you could leave it but not leaving it, and not it, accepting it. The struggle or aversion is responsible for most of our misery. The phrase I probably use the most to myself in my head is just one phrase: accept. What does acceptance looks like to you? It's okay. Oh, okay. It is to be okay, whatever the outcome is. It's to be balanced and centered. It's to step back and to see the grander scheme of things. We don't always get what we want, but sometimes what is happening is far the best. Sooner you can accept it as a reality, the sooner you can adapt to it. Achieving acceptance is very difficult. I have a couple of hacks I try, but I won't don't say they are totally successful. Okay. One hack is stepping back and looking at previous bits of suffering I have had in my life. I write them down. Last time you broke up with somebody, last time you had a business failure, last time you had a health issue. What happened? I can trace the growth and improvement that come from years later. Okay. That's it for today. I think I can stop now and do something else. So I'll just stop this right here. Bye. till 11, 12, 13.